the spectacular turnout here today of the Global Travel Fraternity at Geo World Convention Center, Mumbai. OTM, certified as Asia's leading travel trade show, is a platform where the global travel industry engages with the Indian and Asian market, resulting in numerous opportunities. As you step into the OTM halls, you'll experience the full breadth of the travel industry with 2,200 exhibitors from over 60 countries and more than 20 Indian states and union territories, engaging with over 50,000 qualified buyers, including India's most influential travel professionals and decision makers, shaping partnerships for the year ahead. What begins here over the next 3 days will travel far beyond these walls, shaping the future of global travel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got here today 45 national tourism organizations officially participating at OTM. It's safe to say that this is the highest ever for any travel show in the region. For many of these destinations, OTM is the only trusted platform in the country. There's long haul, there's short haul, there's Asia, Europe, the US, the Americas, so much of Africa and Oceania. Indeed, the world is here. And that's why we also call OTM the One World Travel Mart. And at this moment, when the travel destinations, the world's destinations are gathered here in one place, leadership matters most. Ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge with respect the chief guest of OTM 2026, Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji, Honorable Minister of Tourism, Government of India, whose visit was cancelled at the last minute due to parliamentary proceedings. We value his leadership and continued guidance in shaping India's tourism growth and global engagement. We also recognize the presence of Honorable Deputy Minister of Tourism of Sri Lanka, the Honorable Minister of Tourism of Sarawak, and Honorable Deputy Minister of Tourism Sarawak, and Honorable Chairman Tourism Malaysia, who join us for the inaugural program here today. We are honored to welcome dignitaries, delegates, and industry leaders representing destinations from Argentina, Bahamas, Bhutan, Cambodia, Cayman Islands, Egypt, Fiji, France, Georgia, Greece, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Korea, Malaysia, Mauritius, Morocco, Namibia, Nepal, Oman, Peru, Philippines, Qatar, Seychelles, Singapore, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Switzerland, Taiwan, Tanzania, Thailand, Turkey, Uganda, USA, Uzbekistan, Zambia, visit Almaty, visit Brussels, Da Nang, and so many more. Clearly, it's a full house and the world is here today. Equally, we welcome esteemed dignitaries and participants from 20+ Indian states and union territories, recognizing His Excellencies, ambassadors and consuls, heads of associations, and esteemed members of the travel industry, reinforcing India's position not only as an outbound powerhouse, but also as a diverse tourism ecosystem engaging the world. OTM is a part of a larger vision. At Fairfest Media, we have been building platforms for the travel industry for over 3 decades now. Most recently, this vision has expanded beyond Asia. Fairfest Media has recently acquired WTE Miami, the fastest growing travel trade show in the United States, and indeed, the only B2B travel show on the East Coast. The United States is not only the largest travel market in the world, but also one of the most influential. WTE Miami will be a B2B travel show like the one you are at today, with the same promise of high quality. WTE Miami will be held at the Miami Beach Convention Center on October 27 and October 28 later this year. Miami is one of the fastest growing source markets in the US, a gateway to the Americas, and indeed a world-class destination as well. I mean, we all know that. By bringing WTE Miami into the Fairfest portfolio, we are creating a stronger bridge between Asia, India, and the Americas, and we look forward to welcoming all of you to be a part of WTE Miami. May I take this opportunity to invite all our esteemed dignitaries, ministers, tourism leaders, and industry partners present here today to come be a part of WTE Miami and make use of the opportunity that the US market presents. Now, bringing the focus back to India, we also organized TTF, India's biggest travel trade show network, connecting important regional markets through its editions in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Mumbai, bringing India's travel together, travel trade together, city by city. BLTM was created for a very clear need, to give business, luxury, and MICE travel its own focused B2B environment. Held in Delhi, it brings together curated buyers and suppliers who are looking for depth and not scale. And OTM, we all know, stands as the flagship event in our network, our crown jewel. Each platform is designed with one purpose: to serve the needs of the global tourism ecosystem and create definite ROI and measurable outcomes for exhibitors and sponsors. This approach is also reflected in how the industry looks at OTM. As this research shows, OTM leads nationally, regionally, and across Asia. Nielsen IQ has ranked OTM as the #1 travel trade show in India and Asia, a position driven by industry trust, participation, and business outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin the inaugural program of OTM 2026, titled India Takes Its Place on the Global Travel Stage. The session brings together senior tourism leaders from across regions to reflect on how destinations are engaging with India's booming travel market and how India is taking its rightful place on the global travel stage. To moderate this session, I'm delighted to introduce to all of you Ms. Tanya Khanijo. Tanya is one of India's leading travel creators and YouTubers whose work sits at the intersection of storytelling and tourism. Through her journeys and narratives, she reflects the aspirations of millions of young Indian travelers, reshaping how a new generation explores destinations, experiences cultures, and engages with the world. Over to you, Tanya. Please take this conversation forward.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to OTM. I hope you all are well caffeinated for this morning because we're going to have a really interesting conversation starting soon. May I invite His Excellency Dato Shri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamza, sir. He is the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts from Sarawak. Our next guest is Datuk Manoharan Periaswamy, Chairman from Tourism Malaysia. Sir, please welcome on stage. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Welcome. And our final guest, Honorable Professor Ruwan Ranasinghe. Sir, please welcome on stage. He's the Deputy Minister of Tourism from Sri Lanka. Please, a warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today, our very esteemed guests. I hope you've had a very good journey all the way to Mumbai. Sir, I think your journey has been the longest. How are you feeling today?
Well, I feel really good. This is my first trip to Mumbai.
Amazing.
I came in 2 days ago from Kuching, Sarawak. Probably some of you might not know where Sarawak is. It's in the state of Borneo. One of the largest states in Malaysia. And we are very, very happy to be here. I came with quite a big delegation, and we can see the importance of OTM. And we are participating we've got a pavilion here together with the Tourism Malaysia pavilion, and we'll definitely be back again in the years to come. We can see the big potential that we have seen during our tour just now. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we are really excited to hear from you. So, how has your journey been so far?
Thank you, Tanya. It's always good to be back to Amchi, Mumbai. And it's great to see how the whole tourism industry has evolved. The last time when I was here is almost 10 years back. And good to see the tourism industry in India is growing by leap and bound, and particularly the OTMs has grown, as what you mentioned just now, it's become one of the leading travel shows in Asia, and particularly in South Asia. So we are glad to participate And this year, in conjunction of our Visit Malaysia year for 2026, we would like to meet some more industry players to hope to make it Malaysia as a premier holiday destination. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So how are you doing today?
Well, great, Tanya. In fact, it's a couple of days that I've reached Mumbai and having traveled several places, meeting some media networks. Well, doing great.
And so is this your first trip to Mumbai or you've been here
I've
before?
been to on some educational conferences before.
Okay. So, sir, my first question is for you, because Sarawak became the first Asian destination that also was present, which was presenting at the ICCA Global Conference, you know, so under your tenure. So how does this position Sarawak's evolving position in the global markets now?
Well, thank you, Tanya, Excellency, Dato' Manoharan from Malaysia also. Well, Sarawak views India as a very important strategic partner or long-term potential, not only because of its growing outbound volume, but also because Indian travelers are also evolving in what they seek from the places that they travel. As travelers become more experienced, there is this clearer path or clearer appetite for destination that offer depth, that offer authenticity, and meaningful experience beyond the familiar route. Well, personally, I see India is a very, very big market. You have got so much things now here.
Yes.
You've got so much to offer. And of course, we would want to see where we can collaborate. And definitely there will be the younger generation, the up and coming who love to travel. We want to see them coming over to our shows, whether to other parts of Malaysia or to Sarawak. Sarawak, as I mentioned just now, is the largest state in Malaysia. It's, I have to admit, not being arrogant down here, it's the richest state in Malaysia. We are going very much into renewable energy, but we are still very, very passionate about our rivers, our caves, our forests, and this is the area that we are marketing. We look forward to bringing in people who are able to appreciate the beauty that we have. That's why, apart from India, we also go to Europe, we go to China, we go to other parts of the world doing what we need best, and we want to welcome them to Malaysia. Yeah, thank you.
So what I find really fascinating is that you mentioned renewable energy and a lot of really interesting destinations. So if, as a follow-up, I may just ask, what's the one destination that you would like to recommend to people like me who are looking to visit Sarawak?
Okay, Sarawak has got 2 World Heritage Sites, which is recognized by UNESCO. That is the Mount Mulu World Heritage Site, and another one last year, which was also given recognition by UNESCO, the Nia Caves. These are old caves that have been there with human habitation for the last 65,000 years. 65,000 years. And those, we are opening it up to the world. We want the world to see. Well, of course, definitely you need to be slightly energetic and strong to go to those places, but we are building up infrastructure to make sure that it will meet to the kind of aspiring visitors that love this kind of places. Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm sure everybody over here is very intrigued already. So, Deputy Minister Rana Singhe, Sri Lanka's tourism sector, from what I hear, has experienced a very big, massive rebound in tourism, and the numbers in 2025 have been really good. So what have been the key enablers of this rebound, in your opinion?
Well, tourism, in fact, Sri Lanka's tourism has gone through several challenges recently as well, particularly Ditwa cyclone. But we are back in full strength. I would like to appreciate India's contribution in that recovery as well. I mean, we are a fresh government. I'm in office for 1 year. We have a mandate, very strong mandate endorsed by the people. And what we promised was to build a sustainable and inclusive tourism economy. Sustainability in 3 areas, that is ecological, social, and financial. So our policy directions are driven to that, as well as inclusivity. Is everyone is a part of tourism, and particularly the economic benefits equally distributed, and everyone could get a part of it. So we have started a lot of, even replacing the existing act to facilitate and regulate the tourism industry. And also, specifically, as I mentioned, for new niche tourism markets that we are looking at, particularly in the case of India, the wildlife and whale watching and Ramayana Trail, which has some 20 odd sites connected with Rama, Ravana, Sita story. So these are some of the new products offerings, and those products are being also developed to reach up to the upmarket. We are planning actually to raise the bar in terms of standards.
Great. So is there any very specific strategy that has worked out well for the tourism numbers in particular?
Yes, now very recently, I would say the way that we manage Ditwa recovery was, opportunity, I would say. We had some 60,000 plus tourists at the moment. It was heavy rain continuously, and landslides, and roads were blocked. But most of the roads were open within 24 hours, and we rescued all the tourists who were secluded in those areas. I think that message went very well across the globe, and there was not a single scratch for a single tourist. We recovered everyone, and safely they went back home. So that was a very recent incident, that how we responded, as well as particularly the hospitality. And of course, people came out, each and every one of them, without any conditions to, help. And I know some of those, villages, they assisted tourists, the way they have treated and experienced, that went viral across the globe, and that was a very good recent example that how we have responded to the tourism.
So that was truly very well managed, and it really reassured the tourists for sure, and I think that's worthy of an applause, truly. So, Mr. Manoharan, as you step into your role as Chairman of Tourism Malaysia, and at such a pivotal moment that too, when you're aligning your organization's strategic push for Visit Malaysia 2026, what is the evolving global behavior looking like, traveler behavior, and what is the strategy that you're incorporating for Visit Malaysia 2026?
Thank you, Daniel. Of course, as I mentioned just now, when I first been posted in India almost 25 years ago, a lot of changes in terms of Indian tourist movement. Previously, we used to see a lot of group movement. People come in a big group and so on. Because Malaysia has always been perceived as a first-time destination. First-time travel, you want to have your familiarities going abroad, staying in the hotels, looking at the product and so on. But looking at it after 2019, particularly after the COVID, we see the pattern, the behavior of the tourists is evolved, whereby they're looking at it more experiential holidays. When they are in the country, they want to be a part of those products, part of the experience. It's no more sightseeing. They have done that. Maybe they came with their parents or came with their grandfathers and so on. They have seen, particularly in Malaysia, we see Twin Tower. They have seen the Twin Tower, So when they come back, they want to be a part of it. Not only looking at the Twin Tower, they want to go to the 44-story, looking at it, and see what else they can do. Similarly, when they go visiting at destinations, no more sightseeing and no more just looking at it, a place. If there is adventure, soft adventures program, all those things, they want to do diving, they want to do hiking, And we're looking at it, the younger generations of Indian travels particularly, they are quite adventurous. Yeah? So that's become one of our USP selling points, as Dato' Rahman mentioned just now, or Dato' Karim, sorry. A lot of adventure programs which is having in Sarawak. We are looking at it. They have one of the largest natural parks and so on. So people want to be a part of that. People want to go hiking. Earlier people said, no, the Indian tourists only want to come and see the place and so on. Gone. After 2019, they are traveling in a smaller group. That's again another changes that we have seen. They prefer between 8 to 10 people going with them, which is the similarities, no more with 30 or 40 people in a bus, wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, go from one place to another, try to cover the destinations within 3 nights or 4 nights. That's behavior, we see a lot of changes. Yeah? Right. So that's become a good opportunity for us to expose what we call it lesser known destinations in Malaysia to the Indian tourists, and particularly for the foreign tourists. So we see a lot of community-based tourism picking up. Yeah? People want to be there, see homestay programs among the Indian tourists. And a lot of edu-tourism is also happening a lot from India. We see a lot of students, college students, university students wanted to be and visiting the places. It's become educational for them as well, to learn about the way of life, the foreign different culture, and so on. So all those things, which is again be part of our strategy in our Visit Malaysia campaign, we want to encourage repeat travelers. Out of 75 to 80% of our people visiting Malaysia is first-time travelers. Right. So somehow or other, to capture the repeat travelers become a challenge to us. So with all these curated packages, very meant for the particular market. So for instance, foreign from European travelers, they have different kind of needs. Whereas from India, they still, beside visiting places, visiting and seeing the experience of the places, food become one of the area, which is again, people say you can send Indian to Alaska, but make sure that idli sambar is there. So that were the similar kind of things we try to do it. Despite we are trying to expose a lesson on destination, we also try to educate our industry players, to ensure that the food elements, Indians, it is, every states or every part of the India, they have different needs. Yeah. Some of them is not only vegetarian. For us in Malaysia, you can eat egg as a part of the vegetarian. For Indian, it's a big no. Egg is not part of the vegetarian. And there are another communities don't eat the particular foods and so on. So again, this become like participating in the OTM and so on, become educational for our industry players as well, to know the needs, Not only we try to sell what we have, we also try to understand exactly what the Indian tourists looking at it when they're traveling to particular countries. Yeah.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. And I think these are some very interesting pointers for everybody present here, that the younger generation is looking for experiences, adventure, good food, not just going from one place to another. Thank you, sir. So the format of this discussion is today that we are going to be discussing 5 key pillars. And I have some questions regarding the Indian market for each of our esteemed guests. So my first question and the first pillar is to do with what is the strategic priority, especially when it comes to the Indian market? So I see that India now is not just a secondary market, but also a very primary market for inbound tourism to different countries. So what is the emerging trend, and how has India moved from just a potential to like a core, probably, market? So what has been your experience in the respective countries? Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you again, Tanya. You see, when we come down here, myself, my deputy, the CEO of Sarawak Tourism Board, the whole team are down here. We have been going all over the world, studying the market, studying the people, what are the kind of things that they like. So with the knowledge that we have, and that is where we will strategize how it is. Well, for Sarawak, probably the only thing that is lacking, that I can see in Sarawak when it comes to the Indian market is the food, Indian food. Because we know that Indian travelers, anywhere they go, they must have Indian food.
I agree.
I think that's where. But then we are very lucky also. Actually, just for information of the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Sri Lanka, there is one chap from Sri Lanka who studied in Kuching, in Sarawak. Wow. He reached up to have his master's in Sarawak. His name is Damit. After he completed his study, he refused to go back to Sri Lanka and set up a restaurant. Now his restaurant, which is named Ceylonese Restaurant, is the largest. It has grew up to be so big, and that was the favorite place. That reflects that we are very open when it comes to opening up to the world.
Yes.
And our collaboration or our outlook towards India is not just trying to bring as many tourists as possible. We want to have strategic collaboration. Even yesterday, we were together with Somaya University. We want to have some kind of collaboration with the university. I'm also looking after the youth. I would wish to have collaboration between the Indian youth as well as the Malaysian youth, vis-a-vis the Sarawak youth. This year we're going to have what we call Rainforest Youth Summit, whereby we bring in youth leaders from Southeast Asia. Probably in the years to come, we'll be bringing more youth leaders from other parts of the world and try to get them to understand about sustainability, green energy, protection of the environment and all that. We are also going into that level. We bring them over, and we bring in lecturers, speakers from all over the world to share their knowledge with these young leaders. So that is how it is. We want to have strategic alliances with the Indian peninsula, those from India, not just from Mumbai. And also this year, we just launched our own airline last month, the A Borneo. And I'm giving that A Borneo to grow up to be a very big airline within the next 2 years, because it's fully backed by the government. And apart from that, we put a lot of stress on education. All public universities in Sarawak, we have got 5, which is owned by the state government. Education is free for us, up to university level. So you can see the progression that we are going. As I admit much earlier, we are moving very, very well in renewable energy. We export electricity to Indonesia. We export electricity soon to Singapore. We are also probably going to export electricity to Brunei or to the other states in Malaysia, inshallah. So that is how it is, the way we are moving forward. And we also, 2 years ago, we have set up our own sovereign fund model on the one in Singapore as well as the one in Norway, which is got the largest sovereign fund in the world. So that is it. Yeah. Thank you.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. So, in this regard, has there been any budget reshaping or policy focus, especially when it comes to promoting tourism and having these kind of alliances with the Indian youth or bringing in more Indian tourists? Has there been any significant development in that segment?
For me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, we have removed the visa barrier. This is again, as catalyst, is really have helped Malaysia to become one of the premier destinations for the Indians. Last year we received 1.5 million, and we are looking at it for 2026 around 2 million, with more than 200 flights weekly from India, connecting not only Kuala Lumpur, also connecting destinations like Penang and so on. So part of the strategy is that how do we can attract the younger generations by having more traffic rights, flying from the tier 2 cities or tier 3 cities from India, and also flying beyond Kuala Lumpur. Right now, almost 90% of the flights out of 200 flights weekly are landing in Kuala Lumpur, either Terminal 1 or Terminal 2. So we are looking at it, talking to the Indian-based carrier, beside our Malaysian-based carrier, Indian flights like Indigo, Air India, and as well the newly airline Akash Air and so on. How do we can bring Indians directly to the holiday destinations? In the case of Indigo, right now there's a flight from Bangalore to Langkawi, and as well from Chennai to Penang. So this has become what they call it's important point for us to extend the Indian tourists whenever they are coming for holidays, whereby they're combining two destinations. You go to Langkawi as a beach destinations, and coming to Kuala Lumpur, shopping, entertainment, and so on. So this automatically will increase the length of stay of the Indians. Right now, Malaysia only perceive like 3 days, 3 days, 2 nights kind of destination, because it's very near. Then with the visa assumptions and all those things over the weekend, any of the Indian tourists feel like, they have a long weekend, they can hop on the flights and landing in Malaysia. So the policy of removing the visa requirement for the Indian tourists is really and helps. And secondly, we are looking at it, the other elements. Filming is again, Bollywood is Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, whatever woods in India become big things. It's in a way to promote Malaysia's through the movie in India is an excellent opportunity. It's fast and it's cheap as well. In the case of, can reach not only to the main cities, also can reach cities like tier 2, like Jharkhand, Orissa, and all those other places. And an opportunity for us to work with the film producers and so on, because we do have our own the film boards. We have a quite number of incentive, and I believe that too in Sarawak also they have those kind of incentive to lure more film producers to come and choose not only Malaysia's, not only in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, as well as Sarawak and other destinations as shooting locations. Right? So that's again become one of the strategy. How do we can lure more producers? And the third one is on the wedding. What we see is in Bollywood is already been translated in a reality, the wedding elements. And we had a good sessions 2 days ago with the wedding planners and so on. So we are looking at how do we can cater. Each times the Indian weddings, we always tell to the hoteliers, your kitchen cannot be closed 24 hours because they have 5 meals a day whenever there's Indian weddings, So not every industry players or hoteliers are prepared for that. So those who wanted to tap on the Indian markets on the wedding, again, this is a good opportunity. We're telling them, looking at it, each time Indian weddings, they have, maybe they come here for 3 nights or 4 nights in a wedding, but in terms of ROI, maybe a 6 months ROI, looking for the leisure tourists are coming. The spending part, the way the amount of money they spend in the destination. Yes, Indians are very difficult people to deal with it, always very argumentative and bargaining. But again, and that's how we wanted to looking at it. So more and more industry people understand about it, and they're willing to have a more open kind of discussions, open mindset with the Indian tourists, not only with the industry players, wedding planner, producers, and so on. And from the airline points, beside the Indian-based carriers, we're also looking at the Malaysian-based carrier. We have 3 main airlines operating out of India. It's Malaysian Airlines, AirAsia, and Batik. So they're also looking at it on the expansions part of it, looking beyond the metro cities. We are looking at it tier 2 and tier cities where we can carry the passenger, the tourists directly to the holiday destinations. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So what I find really fascinating is that you also touched upon wedding tourism, which is something that I wasn't expecting. Deputy Minister, sir, I also wanted to ask you similarly that is India looking like a strategic country where you're looking for expanding tourism, and have there been any significant policy reforms in in making our tourism
Yeah,
more?
Tanya, now our tourism, like we started actually way back in 1960s, and at that time European markets were leading Sri Lankan traffic.
Yes.
So when we were small boys, like we were trying to learn French, German to, at that time. But now I was running a tourism program in a university where we have introduced languages like Hindi, where the market has been changing. So with the, emergent economies like China, India, so now it is totally different, our tourist arrival. So India has been dominating Sri Lanka's traffic arrival recent years. So this, just we concluded 2025, 500,000. And this January showed even some 15% plus growth from the Indian market itself for the last month. So we are very much looking forward, to further increase the traffic. In that sense, I think number one is the connectivity, where weekly there are about 190 flights operating from India to Sri Lanka, mainly Sri Lankan Airlines and Air India and Indigo. And there are some more destinations that we need to work on. Very soon we will start another direct flight from Ahmedabad to Colombo. To maybe 5 flights at the initial stage from Ahmedabad to Colombo to increase the traffic. So air connectivity is number one. So there is directly our policy reforms working on that one, and also there is a growing demand for domestic aviation, which again policy formulation and the work is going on. On the other front, like with the increase of Indian traffic, the service is necessary from the supply side. For that, we have encouraged. Very recently, we concluded an investment and tourism summit in Colombo with collaboration with the Indian High Commission in Colombo, so that, a lot of Indian investors are in Sri Lanka to cater this traffic, particularly vegetarian food. It was talked about a lot of Indian restaurants in big hotel chains, specific Indian restaurants are there. So that we can cater for that market. And also, as you raised before, other trending markets like film tourism, we have, like very quick approval process. Within a week, we can clear all the approvals for a film to be shot in Sri Lanka. So that is being facilitated by Sri Lanka Tourism, which is usually a cumbersome process, but to encourage film tourism in Sri Lanka, I think at the moment there are a couple of films being shot in Sri Lanka right now, the Indian ones. So that clearance we are giving. And other than that, golf tourism we are looking at. And Raman Rail, of course, we have a lot of work which are doing research and, a lot going on for this Ramayana-based tourism. And also there is a growing demand for digital nomads. In recent times, we have observed a lot of Indian cities. For that, we have introduced, now it is in the final stage, special visa scheme for that, for longer stay. And of course, we have cleared very early stages the visa barrier for Indian market. So with all these policy reforms, I think, we are very much hopeful to continue the trend with the Indian growing emergence of Indian tourism market.
Thank you, sir. Those are some really interesting reforms, and I have also experienced this personally, that the visa clearance times are like really, really fast. So the turnarounds and even the movie clearances, those are some amazing reforms that are taking shape. So as the destinations, and I'll just open this question up for the floor, as destinations intensify their focus on India, what is your destination doing differently today to emerge and appeal to the Indian traveler? So you can, as a follow-up, just take that up first.
As I said, at the beginning of tourism industry, it was geared towards the European visitor, whereas it has been changed now. The vegetarian restaurants are coming out. Our school programs, tourism programs introduced the languages that can, particularly South Indian market, we can deal with Tamil. We have a lot of, population, our second largest population speaking Tamil language that can be handled. And even going beyond that, as I said, Indian investments, we promote a lot of Indian companies, travel companies, they are investing. So that, I mean, it will be the same. And one more point I need to add, like, you know, we also share very common values, like, you know, from India. And initially it was these sightseeing visitors, but now the younger generation more into entertainment, experience, and these kind of, you know.
And
so
digital nomads.
Yeah, so we are very much looking forward, even, you know, gambling. Now these areas are growing, particularly for Indian market. So we are working on those growing markets as well. Food is something that we need to talk about. Yeah, the Sri Lankan boy started the restaurant. I think, yeah, there is a unique opportunity there. You know, we are in the subcontinent and we, it's almost, you know, very much similar, but what is unique about Sri Lankan food is that our spices. You know, Sri Lanka was very well known in the world during, you know, medieval period, and Europeans came, Arabians came, that is because of the spices. Yeah? So we grow the best cinnamon in the world, and strongest flavored pepper in the world. With all these spices, our uniqueness in food. So the other important fact is the hospitality. Our people are very friendly, and we speak generally in the society English language that can be managed. So with this friendly, hospitable nation, I think is gifted in our generations, this hospitality. So for tourism, I think we are very much positioned, particularly for Indian client.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Manoharan, what would you like to say on this?
Basically, as I mentioned just now, we wanted to promote focus beyond Kuala Lumpur. Cities been done, they have visitors. So various hobby destinations, we are focusing on that to promote, and particularly to encourage the so-called Gen X, Gen Y, and so on, you know, to experience the destinations, more on the experiential holiday and so on. The other area we are looking at it is sports tourism. We realize that, as a matter of fact, we have just launched a cycling program for the Indian tourists. And the sports tourism, international events and so on, also getting a good attractions from the Indian tourists. So we are looking at the swimming, running, cycling, and so on. So we are associating with all the associations here, based here, how do we can highlight the sports tourism, particularly to attract the Indian tourists. And besides that, there are various programs that we are focusing in India. One's about fly and cruise. We do have our own home port cruise in Penang and Langkawi. We are getting some more people who like to enjoy flying and taking the cruise for 3 days or 3 nights kind of things. And again, exploring, extending their holidays. All those things, it is how do we can extend, how do we can manage to getting the Indian tourists spend extra days in Malaysia. So fly and cruise. And again, another things we have promoted that, but now we are working with operators, specifically fly and drive. What's surprising is that, you know, if anybody first time coming to India, they're looking at it, the way the Indian driving, maybe, you know, the hearts come to the stopping that. But in Malaysia, the good thing is that the Indian driving license is recognized.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you know, if you come for a short-term period, so you're allowed to drive in Malaysia, you know. So I have to really take a precaution on that whenever Indian driving, you know. First thing they say, they go into the car, straight away honk. I say, what's wrong with you? I say, no, it is a habit, you know, habit of honking. But again, in terms of looking for a positive side, how do we can get it people to fly and drive? Again, these are the area which why they doesn't want to travel in a bigger group. They want to see the destinations, you know. So they're flying, they're traveling with the 3 or 4 of them, hiring a car and exploring the destinations. So these are the particular product that we already working with local operators and local industry players. And during for 2026, we hope this will become another element that we can highlight among the Indian tourists. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I would actually like to ask a follow-up on that. We touched a little bit upon the other cities outside of the main metros in India. So we've already heard the amazing policies and programs that are in place. But what would you like to say about catering to, let's say, the tier 2 or the tier 3 cities in India, which are not the primary focus maybe, but the secondary or the tertiary markets, which are also really emerging? So what are the trends that you're observing in that regard?
Yeah. You see, when it comes to the Indian market, as far as Sarawak is concerned, our initial area of focus would be more the eastern region, Chennai and all that, you know. You have to see to the history also, whether it's in West Malaysia or in East Malaysia, Sarawak, our connection with India goes a long way. We have got a very long history with India. We got a lot of Indians who come over to work in Malaysia. Those days, brought in by the Britain, who are also our common colonial master at that time, whether it's West Malaysia or whether it's in East Malaysia. So a lot of them stays back. So that connection are mostly with those from that region. But presently we can see that apart from Delhi, Mumbai is that region, you know. So which is really moving up very fast. So that is when Sarawak is also expanding very fast as far as its tourism is concerned. We are very open to this, but of course, we will start with where it's much nearer to us, Chennai and all that, and it will grow. It will grow, and we'll see how it goes from there. Sarawak outlook towards tourism, as much as possible. We won't want to open up the state just for the sake of getting the numbers. We want good
partnership.
Partnership. We want good visitors who are able to appreciate the kind of thing that we are doing, you know. Because personally, on a personal note, I see tourism as very, very important for the general public. The state is okay when it comes to revenue, when it comes to its coffer. We are very rich. I have to admit that the state is very rich. But the peasants, the farmers, the fishermen, these are the one that will benefit very much. Those in the hospitality industry will benefit very much if tourism rise up. Those who are in craft. You see, Sarawak in 2019 was also recognized by UNESCO, or rather the capital city of Kuching, recognized by UNESCO as a city of gastronomy. Sarawak has got 34 different ethnicity. It is a melting pot of culture. It is a melting pot of a lot of things. We market, we develop these areas. And also, as just had been mentioned by Dato' Manoharan just now, sport tourism. A few years ago, we organized the Masters Sports, Masters Athletic. And to my surprise, the largest contingent was from India. Largest contingent was from India, you know. The second largest was from mainland China. So these are the areas that we are looking. We are doing our own study. Sarawak has got 3 international marathon, which get recognized by AIM, Association of International Marathon. So
wow, sir, listening to you,
the
I'm also getting interested in visiting Sarawak.
the number of those that come over just
for these programs.
for this purpose. And apart from the Kuching or Sarawak might be a small city as compared to India. India has got huge population. The state of Sarawak, we have got only 2.7 million population. But Kuching, which is only about 800,000, has got 5 private hospitals. Our medical tourism, especially for those who come in from Indonesia, from Jakarta, is big. It's big. So that is the other area that we are doing. So we are making our own study. That is why those that come with me from here and which they will follow suit, what are the tastes of the Indians? What are the things that they would want to see? And we will try to formulate so that at least we'll try to attract. And one of the music festival. This year is going to be the 29th year. It's called Rainforest World Music Festival. It's within the top 10 music festival in the world on ethnicity. And to my surprise, every year there are lots of Indians, music lovers who come over just to attend the Rainforest World Music Festival. Because,
Sir, out of curiosity, what are some of the destinations in India that you see people coming to Sarawak from? So, for example, any other cities besides Mumbai where you notice new arrivals from?
Mumbai
Is big.
is big.
Any other?
Chennai, the southern states.
Okay.
The eastern southern states. These are the areas that have got the initial connection with us. And the Indians who are in Sarawak, a lot of them are very successful, doctors, lawyers. The numbers might be small. Their connection are always with that area, not really to Mumbai or Ahmedabad or Delhi. It's more that side.
So similarly, have you noticed any other destinations from where the inbound travelers are large in number?
Okay. In terms of the cities, cities which we are now almost at 20 cities we are connected directly. So predominantly from the south, places like Kerala, we have flight from Cochin, Trivandrum, and from Chennai, from what they call it, not only Madras, we're also having from Trichy and all those places. Whereas in Bangalore, and we have from Hyderabad and up to Kolkata and all those things, the eastern part of it. And of course from northern, we have Delhi, Jaipur, from Amritsar and Jaipur, those flights. And Mumbai, of course, connected from Mumbai and Ahmedabad. You know? So in terms of the tourists, the first-time travelers, always from the tier 2 cities. Whereas they would like to come to KL. Where, like Dr. Sri was mentioning just now, people from the cities, the main city, who want to looking at to explore the destinations, more adventure. Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai or Bangalore is going to the beyond Kuala Lumpur.
Right.
So that we see that the patterns on that, yeah.
And sir, what is the emerging trend in Sri Lanka? Are there other cities from India where people come to visit from?
Well, for Sri Lanka, I think number one is Chennai, because it's just 1 hour of tour from there, and Bangalore and Hyderabad and of course Mumbai. There is traffic from New Delhi also. So I mean, we have most of those cities. We have direct connections. So once we connect Ahmedabad, it is growing. It seems like right now. So this is why we are planning to start. So then almost all the cities will be connected. So the largest number at the moment is from the south.
Thank you, sir. So with this, we come to the end of this panel. Thank you so much for your time, sir, for your thoughts, for the key pointers, and for the strategic partnership with India and with the Indian tourists. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.